If you want to instantly wow your audience, this is the effect that you will need. A multi-line scrolling news ticker. And in this video, I will show you how to build one in DaVinci Resolve Fusion that you can use for live streams, podcasts, interviews, or any kind of video project. It's sleek, it's professional, and will make your content stand out from the rest. First thing you're going to want to do is go over and create yourself a new Fusion composition. We're going to make this about 20 seconds long and hit create. And once that's done, just drag it on down to your timeline and go over to the Fusion page. Once in the Fusion page, you're going to want to create a background node. The background node can be anything that you want, whether it's a green screen image or if you want it to be just a regular image. In our case, we're just going to use a color. We're going to go over to the color box. We're going to select blue color, and that will be our background for this. We can open it up in the left-hand viewer and see that. Now we're going to want to drag down our logo. Your logo can be anything that you want it to be, for as far as your channel logo or anything. In our case, we're just going to use a podcast logo. With our medium selected, we're going to go over and we're going to rename that. You can go F2 and we're going to call that BK_logo. That's a background logo that we're going to be using. From there, we're going to be placing a transform node and connecting that. And then you connect it to the output of the background node that creates a merge. And then you can highlight that. You can see that your background logo is too much. So we're going to go to the transform and we're going to decrease the size quite a lot for now. We will adjust it later. If you are using a background image or background green screen or just a good background, you can turn the logo off at any time. Just go up and turn the logo off. That is, if you're using a pre-generated background from a green screen or anything that you're using. Since we're not using anything as a background for this tutorial, we're just going to re-enable that so that we have some image on the background. We're also going to bring our logo into our Fusion composition, and from there we're going to attach another transform node to our medium. And then from there, we're going to attach the transform to the output of the merged one, and it creates a merge node. So now we have a separate transform node. This medium is basically going to be logo that we're going to have out next to our news tracker. So we're going to decrease the size of this a lot, and we're going to change the position as well. We're going to move this all the way down to the corner, and we will readjust this later once we have our news tracker bars on the screen. From here, we're going to add yet another background node. We're going to call this background node feed 1 because that's going to be our first news feed on the screen. From there, we're going to actually go over and look at the image size, and it should be the same size as our frame. Should be the same size as our timeline resolution. On top of that, we are going to add a rectangle mask, and we're going to attach the rectangle mask to our feed. Our feed will then go to our output of the merge 2. We're going to then decrease our rectangle. We're going to drop it all the way down, and we're going to play with a location. Since this is a feed 1, we're going to have it up on the top. We're just going to adjust the sizes to actually match what we are going to be doing. So the size of our rectangle will be basically 0.566. Our Y will be 0.133. Our width should be around 0.866, and our height should be 0.128. Once we go over to our view window and we actually say size to fit, now you can see that we have our 3840 by 2160 and our logo is on the end of our feed 1. If it is not there, you can actually just click on the transform node for your logo and you can move it to where you want it temporarily. For now, we're going to leave it there because we're going to adjust the size and position when we add another background node. So we're going to add another background node here. We're going to add another eclipse node here. We're going to connect the two, and then we're going to connect the background to merge 3. This background is going to be our center feed, or feed 2. It's up to you how you want to rename it. So we're going to call this center feed. We're going to then change the size of this. The size of these should be, the center is going to be 0.566. The Y is 0.042. The width is going to be 0.866. And our height is 0.056. There are overlaps on this, so we're not going to worry about that for now. One little correction to this is this is not going to be our center feed. It's going to be our bottom feed. So you can rename that to bottom feed. From there, we're going to add another background node and another eclipse. We're going to take the eclipse and attach it to the background to the merge 4, and we're going to look at that in the screen. From there, the rectangle node should be the center X is going to be size 0.559. The Y is going to be 0.083. The width is going to be 0.853. The height will be 0.042. Now that you can see that there are overlaps in this, like we said before, we're not going to worry about the overlaps. These will be our news feeds 1, the center, and the bottom. You could rename this background 2 node to center feed to keep everything organized. From there, we're going to add a text plus node, and in our text plus node, you can type in whatever you want. And we are using a text font called Lato. You can find that if you don't have it downloaded. You can get it from like swirlfont.com, and our text size will be 0.7.0722. All these sizes can be adjusted to how you want your text feed and text boxes to look. From there, we're going to take our text node and we're going to attach it to the merge node. We're going to also put another rectangle mask and attach that to our text node. Our rectangle mask will be the different sizes of the center will be 0.572. The center Y will be 0.133. The center height will be 0.846, and the height will be 0.119. That will put the box right in our black text feed number 1. With the merge 6 loaded into our right viewer, we're going to work on our text node. We're going to drag our text down to our timeline. We're going to have our timeline set to 0. We're going to then take our roll off of the screen and make a keyframe. Now we're going to move our timeline playhead all the way up, and we're going to take and move our X off the screen out of the mask all the way to the left. That should create another keyframe. And when we play this back, we're going to see that it is going to be scrolling across the screen. In this case, it's really slow. So we're going to add a speed control in our node. We're going to take our speed control and we're going to bump it up to like 1.25. That will give us a little bit more speed. If you want it faster, you can bump it up more. If you want it slower, you can bump it down. From there, we're going to rename this to news scroll so that we can keep everything organized. Now we're going to add another text node, and then we're going to connect that to our merge 6. And in this text node, we are going to be using this for our show name. With our text selected, we're going to type in whatever it is that we want to put in as for a show name. In this case, we're just going to go with our true crime tale. We're going to change the color to whatever that you're going to want. We're going to change the size to something very small. We're going to go 0.0428, and now we're going to position that. Since this is stationary, we're going to position this about center of our mask and leave it as such. From here, we're going to rename this as show name, since that's going to be the name of the show that we'll be doing. Now we're going to bring down another text plus node, and we're going to connect that to our merge 7. And with merge 8 now being displayed in the right viewer, we are going to name this text node anything that you want. We're going to name this for basically our host or any name that you want to put in there. Then we're just going to drag this down. We're going to change the size of this to be very small so that it looks proper. You can change sizes, fonts, anything that you want. You can change the colors to whatever it is that you want. In this case, we're just basically going to change our color to a brownish color and leave it as such from there. Now we're going to rename this basically for our host name to keep it organized. We're going to add yet another text node, so a text plus node, and we're going to connect that down to our merge. In this text plus node, we're going to just type in the word live. In case we do a live feed or a live show, we can do that. Our text size will be relatively small, so we're 0.0315. We're just going to rename this to live. Now we're just going to take and move this out of the way for now and just stick it over here. We're going to then bring our red dot image down onto our composition. We're just going to rename this as live on, because this will be on when you're actually broadcasting live or streaming. We're going to take that and move it into the merge node, and we're going to then make that active in our right viewer. We're going to take and move this dot out of the way and put it next to our live, and we're going to change the size of it so that it will actually look better for what it actually does, and just leave it as such for now. Now what we need to do is we need to actually take and make our channel logo, actually make it so that it is bigger and more in sync with our news feed. So we're going to actually increase the size of this, but we don't want to go too big, so we're just going to increase the size and try to center it. And with that, we're going to take our live and we're going to bring it down and put it above. Then we're going to take our live dot and we're going to bring it down. From there, we're going to go and we're going to take a transform node and we're going to place it into our live. And once that is in there, now we're going to move our live on indicator next to the live itself, and we're going to then just take a look at it and see how it actually looks. If it's too big or too small, then we can adjust it. We're going to take a text plus node, add it to our node tree. From there, we're going to take the output of the text plus to the merge node. With the text plus highlighted, we're going to go in here, right click and do text timer. From there, we're going to go into the modifiers tab and we're going to select hours, minutes, seconds, and we're going to go for clock. We can turn off 24 hours or you can leave it on. In my case, I'm just going to turn it off so we have hours, minutes, and seconds. Once we highlight and make the node active, you can see that we have a timer there, but it's rather large. So we are going to go into the text, go into the size, and we're going to decrease the size a little bit. We're going to go to the layout. We're going to then change the position of the text for the timer. If this is too big, you can adjust it more. If not, just leave it as it is. So that does it for the news feed or the podcast show. What we can do now is, if you do not want this live to appear while you are not actually broadcasting live, we can highlight all of the live information, right click and group it. When you group that, it comes up with one single group. So it does still say live. If you go over here and turn the group 1 off, it will then turn off the live, but it does not affect what you're actually seeing on the screen. So you just turn it off the group. So if you go live, you can just turn it on and off. So with that, you're going to actually hook the media out to all of this. And now in the timeline, you can play this back and you see that you have a scrolling news feed or anything that you want to put in here. You have a host name and you have a channel name. So this is all for your convenience. You can do away with certain things. You can omit things. You can change the background, of course. Everything is all up to you. I hope that you liked and enjoyed this, so please subscribe.